and ready to see the next group. We will now begin the second half of the showcase. As I mentioned earlier, it will now be the friendly speaker's turn to speak. For your information, this will be their fourth showcase. They have chosen to talk about places they've been to and things they've seen and done. Over the past few months, they have generated ideas and organized it into a self-written speech based on their own experience. Without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker. He is a 9-year-old boy who got the chance to visit one of our neighboring countries, Singapore. He had an adventurous trip and he will tell us all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Singapore by Jaden Song.
Good morning, everyone. Have you been to Singapore? Well, I have. I've been there with my family last year. The flight took about 1 to 2 hours from Kuching to Singapore by plane. There are many places of interest. I went to the Singapore Zoo. It was exciting. We rode on the river safari boat trip. While we rode on the boat, we saw animals like monkeys and jaguars. After that, we went to look at other animals like farm animals. Besides that, we saw parrots and lions. Besides the zoo, I also went to the aquarium. We saw many fishes and sharks swimming in the tanks. The fishes we saw were all in different colors. After that, we went into a huge tunnel and saw many sea creatures like stingrays and starfish. Lastly, we went to look at a huge tank big as a cinema TV. We saw dolphins and jellyfish and other sea creatures in the tank. Besides that, I also went to the Merlion statue at Merlion Park. My father explained to me that the body of the Merlion symbolizes Singapore as a fishing village in the old days, and the head represents Singapore's original name. You need to pay a gold coin so that you can walk to the top of the head. The view from the head was magnificent. In conclusion, the Singapore Zoo was amazing and was full of my favorite animals. And the aquarium was full of many sea creatures that I like. Besides that, the Merlion statue was beautiful, so I hope I can visit Singapore again because I want to see more fabulous attractions. Thank you.
Great job, Jaden. I have also been to Singapore and it is as great as Jaden claims it to be. Our second speaker from the friendly speakers is the youngest from the friendly speakers. She is a little girl with a sweet voice and she will be needing the assistance of a microphone to share her experiences in the dreamland of every 8-year-old girl. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hello Kitty Town by Farisha.
Good morning, everyone. Have you ever been to Hello Kitty Town? Well, I have. In Hello Kitty Town, there's a lot of activities to offer. When we were there, we made love boxes, a kind of handicraft made out of colorful cardboard and decorations. We also learned how to bake cookies, and we had so much fun. I went there a few years ago with my mom, my dad, my eldest sister, and my little sister. Hello Kitty Town's at Johor. We flew there with an aeroplane. We stayed in a hotel near Johor Bahru. I guess Hello Kitty Town is a suitable place for kids because they have lots of colorful cartoon characters and beautiful and colorful buildings. My little sister likes all the cartoons in Hello Kitty Town. When we were there, we took pictures using Hello Kitty costumes. I wore a Hello Kitty costume, my sister wore a bunny character costume, and my little sister wore Spike's costume. We also took pictures with Hello Kitty and her friends. Then we went to Angelina Ballerina Ballet Studio. We put on mouse ears, skirts, and ballerina shoes. Then we danced together with Angelina the ballerina. We also watched a Barney show. We sing his famous I Love You song together with him. I enjoyed my time at Hello Kitty Town. I wish I could visit there again. You should go there too. Thank you.
Great job, Farisha. It would have been a dream for my 8-year-old self to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you got the chance to become whatever you dreamed to be? Well, our next speaker got the chance to do so in Kidzania. Ladies and gentlemen, Kidzania by Jaden Liu.
Good morning, everyone. Have you been to Kidsania before? Well, I have. Kidsania is in Kuala Lumpur, which is called KL. It is a place where you can play pretend. Children could also earn kid dolls, which are the fake money there. I went there with my family when I was 7 years old. When we arrived at Kidsania, we went to the bank. After that, we went to the fake gas station. My brother and I were the gas station attendants. We pumped fake petrol into fake cars. It was enjoyable. Besides that, I have also made real detergent. Its flavor was great flavor. Before I made it, I wore a scientist uniform. The uniform was very big and it made me look like a scientist. The detergent that I made was appetizing. Besides that, I have also pretended to be a pilot. The queue for that station was very long and I had to wait for about 15 minutes. There were many buttons and a screen as well. It allowed us to see an aeroplane. Then I saw a steering wheel too. I used that to drive the aeroplane. After that, my friend and I drove the aeroplane. It was exciting. To sum up, Kidzania is special because children play pretend there. I hope all of you could go there. Thank you.
Great job, Jaden. Kidzania sounds like a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you spend your holidays with your family members? Well, our next speaker is a soft-spoken girl who had the chance to visit Hong Kong with her family members. For your information, this will be her first showcase, so please give her extra encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hong Kong by Liana Ding.
Good morning, everyone. Have you been to Hong Kong? Well, I have. Did you know that Hong Kong is the most crowded place on earth? Anyway, I went there on 24th of March this year. I went there with my mom and grandma. I was bored but happy because the trip took very long. We went to many places of interest. One of the best places in Hong Kong is Disneyland. There are over 50 rides and 30 shows. Disneyland looked amazing. The ticketing center was crowded, but my mom managed it. First, we went to watch a 3D show. After the show, we went to the Mad Hatter's Cave. Too bad my mother and grandmother refused to go, so I needed to go by myself. One of the best food in Hong Kong is the wonton noodles. Normally, the real wonton noodles is that the noodles is on the top and the wonton is on the bottom. One of my favorites is the chocolate ice cream because the chocolate is covering the vanilla ice cream. However, one of my favorites wasn't the chocolate ice cream. It was the frog leg porridge. I like the frog leg porridge because the porridge was salty and the froglet tasted like chicken. When I was bored, I'll tell my mom and she'll think of something fun for me to do. For example, go shopping or play with my grandma. I like to go shopping because I can buy things that we cannot buy here like jelly, yogurt, and many more. I also like to play with my grandma because she doesn't visit me much. We bought 3 toys. It was really fun. In conclusion, Hong Kong is my favorite holiday destination. I hope I can visit Hong Kong again. Thank you.
Well done, Diana. I'm sure you enjoyed every minute you spent in Hong Kong. Our next speaker is a 9-year-old girl who had an interesting visit to the land of the rising sun. And she will be sharing her experiences there with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Japan by Hannah To.
Good morning, everyone. How many of you here have gone to Japan? Well, I went to Japan with my family and relatives during the school holiday in June. We went to Tokyo, Furano, and Sapporo. Japan is a beautiful place because the people there do not litter, and because of that, it is very clean. When you eat at restaurants, they'll tell you to throw away your own rubbish and clean your own tables after eating. Apart from that, Tokyo is also quite famous for animal cafes because you get to touch and play with the animals there. I wanted to go to one, but my parents said it was dirty to touch and play with the animals while eating. Besides that, we went to the Tokyo Observatory Tower where you can see the whole of Tokyo. After 3 nights, we took a plane to Hokkaido Island. It took about 1 hour and 25 minutes. Hokkaido's attractions are in winter, although we went in summer. When we reached, we had to rent a car and drive to Furano. It was cold in Furano. We stayed in houses. The next day, we went to a flower farm. It was hot there, so we had ice cream. After that, we went to see the flower fields. For example, Hanabito fields, Sakura fields, Deodori fields, and many more. After 2 nights, we went to Sapporo. In Sapporo, we walked around the streets. There are many kinds of shops there. Apart from that, we went to the Music Box Museum. There are many kinds of music boxes there. Some of the music boxes are small and some of the music boxes are big. My family bought 2 music boxes there. One was for my sister and the other was for myself. Besides that, we also have flavored water. There are many kinds of flavors like peach flavor, apple flavor, lemon flavor, and plum flavor. They also tasted like juice, although it is water. That's why it is called flavored water. We had a wonderful time in Japan. In my opinion, Japan is a delightful and beautiful place to go to. I hope I can go there again someday. Thank you.
Excellent job, Hannah. I definitely add Japan to my list of places to go. Next, we have our eldest speaker from the Friendly Speakers. She will be talking about her experiences in one of our country's tourist spots. Please put your hands together for Legoland by Nicole Jong.
Good morning, everyone. Have any of you ever been to Legoland? Well, I have been to Legoland. It's located in Johor. I had to travel to Johor to go to Legoland. The only thing that was exhausting was packing up my clothes and waking up early in the morning to get to the airport. While I was in the aeroplane, I felt so excited that I couldn't wait to go to Legoland, and I couldn't stop to look up. I couldn't stop looking outside the window. Legoland is actually a fun and exciting place where you can spend time with family. You can play at the theme parks and water theme parks. There are lots of places where you can ride roller coasters. There are roller coaster rides like the Dragon roller coaster